Trump selects Linda McMahon to lead Department of Education, which he has vowed to shutter. President-elect Donald Trump on Tuesday selected his transition co-chair, Linda McMahon, to serve as Secretary of the Department of Education, an agency he and his allies have pledged to abolish. McMahon, 76, previously served as the head of the Small Business Administration during Trump's first term, and she is the former CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment, a company she started with her husband, Vince McMahon. Linda will use her decades of leadership experience and deep understanding of both education and business to empower the next generation of American students and workers, and make America #1 in education in the world, Trump wrote in his announcement. The president-elect, 78, indicated that he will task McMahon with giving states a larger role in education policy and that she will pursue the expansion of school choice nationwide. Linda will fight tirelessly to expand choice to every state in America and empower parents to make the best education decisions for their families, Trump said, noting that McMahon has been a fierce advocate for parents' rights through her work as the chairwoman of the America First Policy Institute think tank. "We will send education back to the states, and Linda will spearhead that effort," the president-elect added. McMahon previously served for 2 years on the Connecticut Board of Education, and for more than 16 years as a trustee at Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Conn. She twice ran unsuccessfully as a Republican for the U.S. Senate in Connecticut. "She is now doing an incredible job as a co-chair of our Trump-Vance transition team," Trump noted. Throughout his campaign, Trump slammed wokeness in public education, pledging to remove left-wing indoctrination from America's classrooms. The president-elect has said he would move to cut federal money for schools pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on our children. Trump has also threatened to levy massive fines against public universities, up to the entire amount of their endowment, that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI initiatives. At a September rally in Wisconsin, Trump told the crowd that he is dying to get back into office to eliminate the federal Department of Education. "We will drain the government education swamp and stop the abuse of your taxpayer dollars to indoctrinate America's youth with all sorts of things that you don't want to have our youth hearing," he added. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, the entrepreneurs whom Trump has tasked to lead an initiative to reduce the size of government, have both signaled a willingness to abolish the Department of Education. Trump critics worry he'll target them for retribution. Olivia Troy, a former Trump administration official who denounced him in a speech at the Democratic convention in August, was boarding a plane recently when a passenger looked at her and said, "Your days are numbered." Not wanting to escalate a bad situation, she said nothing. But the troubling encounter is emblematic of the hostility she's faced as a recognizable and vocal critic of Trump. Now, with Trump returning to the White House, she is beset by newfound fears that he, his appointees or supporters could try to punish her for speaking out. "I'm worried that I'll be targeted by him and a lot of people in his circle," Troy said in an interview. "They very much know who I am, and I'm concerned for my family." She has plenty of company. For some who've run afoul of Trump, the election results have sparked fresh worries that he may enter office looking for retribution. He's been out of power for nearly 4 years, airing grievances over how he believes he's been mistreated by law enforcement, but on January 20, he'll be sworn in with a panoply of governmental powers at his disposal. He's made no secret of who he believes has wronged him, and as president, he could upend their lives through investigations, tax audits, or courts-martial if he chose. During the campaign, Trump has made different statements about whether he might target people who've upset him. What he said can be construed in different ways. He gave a speech last year, hours after he was charged with mishandling classified documents, and said that, if elected, he would appoint a real special prosecutor to go after the most corrupt president in the United States of America, Joe Biden, and the entire Biden crime family. In February, he dismissed any concerns that he might want vengeance, saying, "My revenge will be success." He told Fox News last month in an exchange about weaponizing government against political foes, "I don't want to do that. That's a bad thing for the country. I don't want to do that. I haven't said that I would, but they have done it." In the same interview, he described Democratic reps, Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff, both of California, as the enemy from within. As for Jack Smith, the special prosecutor who has been investigating Trump's handling of classified documents, and his attempts to overturn his 2020 election defeat, Trump said last month he should be thrown out of the country. A spokesperson for Smith declined to comment. Rep. Jim Jordan, a staunch Trump ally in Congress, said he doesn't expect any of the prosecutors to face reprisals over Trump investigations. "I don't think any of that's going to happen because we're the party who's against political prosecution," Jordan said Sunday on CNN. "We're the party who's against going after your opponents using lawfare. None of this has a precise parallel in the modern era." President Richard Nixon had his enemies, but tended to rail against them in private. "The main thing is, the Post is going to have damnable problems out of this one," Nixon told his aides in 1972, complaining about the Washington Post's coverage. "Well, the game has to be played awfully rough." Interviews with 10 people, those who worked in the first Trump administration, lawmakers and critics among others, reveal varying levels of distress. A private attorney, Mark Zaid, said he has consulted with clients about how they can best protect themselves in a second Trump administration. He said he has advised some to leave the country before Trump is sworn in and live abroad until they have a clear sense of whether he is bent on retaliation. "I am aware of people who have already made such plans," Zaid said. "Punitive action could take different forms." California brush fire explodes over 20,000 acres. Newsom declares state of emergency. A wind-whipped Southern California brush fire that exploded to over 20,000 acres in about 24 hours, destroying homes and prompting mass evacuations, remained out of control Thursday as Gov. Gavin Newsom rallied state and federal resources to battle the blaze. The governor declared a state of emergency in Ventura County as firefighters struggled to gain an edge on the mountain fire, which had burned 2,484 acres and destroyed an undetermined number of homes since starting near the town of Camarillo. The blaze was 5% contained Thursday evening. The November fire came amid unseasonably warm temperatures and strong Santa Ana winds. The National Weather Service issued red flag warnings for Ventura and Los Angeles counties that are to remain in effect through at least Friday morning. Aerial footage from ABC Los Angeles station KABC showed what appeared to be row after row of destroyed homes in the towns Camarillo, Moore Park and Somas. Multiple people were taken to the hospitals to be treated for smoke inhalation and other injuries, Ventura County emergency officials said. Some victims became trapped in their cars as they raced from the fast-moving flames, officials said. In a press conference Thursday evening, Ventura County fire officials said 88 structures has been damaged and 132 structures were destroyed, the majority of which were homes. Officials said there were 10 confirmed injuries, most due to smoke inhalation, and all were deemed non-life-threatening. At least 14,000 people were ordered to evacuate, said Ventura County Sheriff Jim Fryhoff. Newsom announced on Wednesday that he has mobilized statewide resources to help battle the fire and has secured a grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency to make vital resources available to extinguish the fire. The California Office of Emergency Services said it had pre-positioned 48 pieces of firefighting equipment, 9 helicopters and over 100 personnel in 19 counties across California, in advance of dangerous fire weather forecast in many parts of coastal and inland California. "This is a dangerous fire that's spreading quickly and threatening lives," Newsom said in a statement. "State resources have been mobilized to protect communities, and this federal support from the Biden-Harris administration will give state and local firefighters the resources they need to save lives and property as they continue battling this aggressive fire." The mountain fire is one of 2 wind-driven fires that broke out in Southern California, leading the NWS to issue rare November red flag warnings for Los Angeles and Ventura counties, alerting of an extreme fire risk from Malibu into the San Gabriel Mountains, north of Los Angeles, where winds could gust near 100 miles per hour. A very strong, widespread and long-duration Santa Ana wind event will bring widespread, extremely critical fire weather conditions to many areas of Los Angeles and Ventura counties Wednesday into Thursday. According to the NWS warning, the cause of the fire remained under investigation Thursday. Efforts, according to the Ventura Fire Department, which said ground crews, helicopters, and mutual aid resources are actively working to protect lives and property. Broad fire. A second wildfire erupted in Los Angeles County's Malibu area Wednesday, named the Broad Fire, and has burned at least 50 acres southwest of South Malibu Canyon Road and the Pacific Coast Highway PCH in Malibu, according to CAL FIRE. The fire was 15% contained Wednesday evening, according to the Los Angeles County Fire Department. Local fire officials have warned residents to prepare for potential evacuations, and the PCH has been closed in both directions. Between Webb Way and Corral Canyon. Santa Ana wind conditions. Named after Southern California's Santa Ana Canyon, the region's Santa Ana winds bring blustery, dry, and warm wind that blows out of the desert, drying out vegetation and increasing wildfire danger. The long-duration Santa Ana wind event was expected to peak late Wednesday, becoming moderate on Thursday, then tailing off to light offshore winds on Friday. Northeast winds moving 20 to 40 miles per hour with gusts up to 60 miles per hour are expected across the canyons and passes of Southern California, with higher winds in the more wind-prone areas. Another surge of wind is expected to peak through Thursday morning with widespread northeast winds of 20 to 30 miles per hour, with gusts to 50 miles per hour before weakening considerably by Thursday afternoon.